Welcome to the Sultanate of Oman television live from this news center, presenting to you tonight's news bulletin. First, the headlines. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq issues a royal decree on the Public Authority for Civil Defense and Ambulance. The Minister of Health today announces 16 deaths and 1,508 new COVID-19 cases in the Sultanate. The Sultanate of Oman joins the world in celebrating the Earth Day. Thank you for joining us. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq issued a royal decree number 39/2021 on the Public Authority for Civil Defense and Ambulance. Article 1 renames the Public Authority for Civil Defense and Ambulance as Civil Defense and Ambulance Authority. Article 2 replaces the text of the second clause of Article 4 of the Royal Decree number 3/2013 with the following text. The execution of provision of transfer shall be in accordance with the mechanisms to be agreed by the Chairman of the Authority and the Inspector General of Police and Customs, according to which a committee shall be formed. From the Royal Oman Police, the Finance Ministry and the Civil Defense and Ambulance Authority to take inventory and transfer all fixed and movable assets, registers, rights and obligations of the two sectors of civil defense and ambulance within a maximum period of 60 days from the date of issue of this decree. Article 3 replaces the text of Article 2 of the Royal Decree number 68/2014 with the following text. The Chairman of the Civil Defense and Ambulance Authority shall issue the regulations and decisions necessary for the implementation of provisions of the system attached to this decree within a period not exceeding 90 days from the date of issue of this decree. Till such time, the existing regulations and decisions shall continue to be enforced without prejudice to the decree's provisions. Article 4 stipulates that the amendments attached to this decree shall be applied to the system of civil defense and Ambulance Authority cited under Royal Decree number 68/2014. Article 5 cancels all that contradicts with this decree and its attached amendments or contravenes with its provisions. Article 6, this decree shall be published in the Official Gazette and come into force from the following day of its publication. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq received a cable of thanks from the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdul Aziz Al Saud of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, in reply to a cable of condolences sent by His Majesty the Sultan on the death of His Highness Prince Bandar bin Faisal bin Saud bin Abdul Rahman Al Saud. His Majesty the Sultan sends a cable of greetings to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II of Great Britain, Northern Ireland, and Head of Commonwealth on the occasion of her birthday. The Minister of Health announced that 1,508 new cases of COVID-19 have been registered in the Sultanate today, bringing the total number of 185,278 cases. The total number of deaths reached 1,942. The total recovered cases reached 165,051, which is 89% of the total recovery rate. The ministry indicated that the total number of inpatients reached 822, among which 266 are in intensive care unit around the healthcare institutions in the Sultanate. Young Omani are so concerned with the raised cases of coronavirus in the Sultanate. Young Omani are so concerned with the rising cases of coronavirus. I met with some of them and they have this to say.
We are in a critical situation and we need the help of everyone, especially the younger generation. Let's not wait to lose a loved one to take an action. We have already lost many. Staying at home for long periods of time can be stressful, but let's do it for the ones we love, for Oman, and for the entire world.
The number of COVID-19 cases in our country keeps rising. So we all need to limit the close face-to-face contact with the others together with the other preventive methods to reduce the spread of COVID-19. So let's all work for our benefits and the benefits of all people, so we can be safe and healthy and the economy of our country can improve.
The number of COVID-19 cases have never been higher, and Eid is around the corner. So if you're not yet done shopping for Eid, I advise you to shop online, not only for your safety and your family's safety, but also because by doing so you would be helping small and local online boutiques while staying safe.
Lockdown is bothering our economy, and our country is fully prepared to bear the burden to protect your safety, mine, and our loved ones. And to give back to Oman, let's all commit to staying home without the need for lockdown enforcements. Let's be united to beat this pandemic by staying safe.
Thank you, youth, for being concerned on rising cases of COVID-19. And it's true, let's be united to beat this pandemic. Individuals targeted in the first phase of vaccination program in Oman started to receive their second dose of the vaccine from vaccination centers across the country. More details in the following report. Vaccinations, which is currently limited to target groups and individuals who are 60 years old and older, is being provided around the Sultanate healthcare institutions. Here in the Governorate of Muscat, the vaccines is being dispensed in 4 centers.
The vaccination process in Muscat Governorate is running really smoothly. Currently we are in Boucher Stadium, which covers both wilayats of Asib and Boucher. We are targeting people 60 and above for the first dose, and also we target the second dose of people completed 8 weeks from getting their first dose. Also, we have other locations in Muscat Governorate. We have Sablat Matrah, which covers Matrah Wilayat and Muscat Wilayat. We have Wali Amirat office also, which covers Amirat Wilayat, and Qurayat Polyclinic, which covers Qurayat Wilayat.
I've just have had my Pfizer vaccine, and the process was really easy. Everybody was so friendly and professional, and it just didn't take too much of time. And vaccine itself, it wasn't painful, and they were all very sweet and kind, and it went on very well, and I'm really thankful that I managed to get it.
His Excellency Dr. Ahmed Al-Saidi, Minister of Health, visited this afternoon vaccination center at Sultan Qaboos Sports Complex, where he met with the staff and also met with citizens and residents, where he had a chance to listen to them and who all thanked the good service. The service is available Sunday to Thursday 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Those eligible for the second dose only will be contacted to take the vaccine by the Ministry of Health staff. In the meantime, people are advised to strictly follow all preventive measures to stay safe and healthy. The Sultanate of Oman joins the globe and the world in celebrating Earth Day on April 22nd. The country affirms its commitments and policies towards environment with the rest of the world and international community to conserve nature, protect the environment, and protect resources and their sustainability. The Sultanate is driven towards a safe and sustainable future, which in turn entails safeguarding Earth, its natural resources and elements. The Omani environmental friendly policies are considered in any government decisions and plans by weighing hazards and risk to nature. Industrial projects in the country require permits from the Environment Authority, which considers before granting the permit environmental hazards and risks. Oman has been active in spreading awareness on environmental issues through HM Award for Environmental Conservation and joining a number of international and regional instruments.
Today is the 22nd of April. It's Earth Day. It's a day that all around the world people are reflecting what's happening with our planet. Climate change, water, food, energy under pressure. But these things are not just for one day. It's for the year. It's for the years ahead. It's for the future. And still, this is key for us to work together, to collaborate. Here in Oman, we are very pleased to work together with several organizations, Environmental Authority, BP Oman, Sohar Port, others, in planting native trees with water-saving technology. And there are so many things we all can do together for life on Earth Day and the whole year around. So let's work together.
Happy Earth Day there. The Consumer Protection Authority released a statement that product prices in Oman markets were not affected generally by the global drops in prices that occur from time to time. The authority also stated that all vendors and service providers are entitled to have reduced pricing in line with the global prices, and pointed out that the authority continuously monitors the prices through its price database for Omani markets. However, the authority said reverting prices to the pre-global price drops is not a violation of law, provided the prices do not exceed the original prices. Oman Down Syndrome Association signed an agreement with Mitsui E&P Middle East Company to provide 93 tablets for students affiliated to the association. More details in the following report.
Within the framework of social responsibility and bolstering the partnership between the public and private sectors, Oman Down Syndrome Association signed an agreement with Mitsui E&P Middle East Company to provide 93 tablets for students affiliated to the association. The devices will contain special applications that stimulate artificial intelligence among the students with Down syndrome.
With online education, it was a challenge for families that do not have computers to educate their children. This agreement will help the associations and families of Down syndrome children to get better learning.
Since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, the association has adopted distance learning to ensure the continuity of providing its services, including family counseling for newborns, occupational therapy, speech therapy, and special education.
This collaboration will help us for rehabilitation for Down syndrome children. Because for this corona, we will continue online with these children.
This new technology helps parents at home to continue her science for rehabilitation. You know, actually, this problem with the corona, the child can't be coming here. I need to say thank you for this company and the association to give it for this given to continue session for rehabilitation at home.
Oman Down Syndrome Association is currently working on building its technological system that will be in line with the latest developments in rehabilitating and training people with Down syndrome. In the coming days, the association will also launch its virtual platform to simplify the process of communicating with the community and providing its services to individuals with Down syndrome. This valuable endeavor will enrich the online learning experience of the Down syndrome children and will enable them to gain the required care and attention in the best possible way. صالح بن خلفان الرحبي, Sultanate of Oman Television, Muscat.
You're watching the Sultanate of Oman Television, and yet to come in our news bulletin. A grey whale, not usually seen in the Mediterranean, was spotted in the Bay of Naples, southern Italy.
COVID-19 everyday precautions. Follow these easy steps to help prevent the spread of COVID-19. If you sneeze or cough, cover your nose and mouth with a tissue or use your elbow. Wash your hands often with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. Clean and disinfect surfaces around your home and work frequently. Keep a distance between yourself and others if you must be in public. Wear a cloth face covering over your mouth and nose when around others. Carry a small bottle of hand sanitizer that contains at least 60% alcohol. Getting vaccinated is one of the many steps you can take to protect yourself and others from COVID-19. Protection from COVID-19 is critically important because for some people, COVID-19 can cause severe illness or death. Vaccines work with your immune system, so your body will be ready to fight the virus if you are exposed. After you've been fully vaccinated against COVID-19, you should keep taking precautions in public places or when you are with unvaccinated people. Getting vaccinated against COVID-19 and following everyday precautions to protect yourselves and others will offer the best protection from COVID-19. Get vaccinated against COVID-19 to protect yourself and others.
Once again, welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. And now for the international news. The Biden administration today pledged to slash U.S. greenhouse gas emissions by 50% to 52% from 2005 levels by 2030. A new target it hopes will spur all other big emitter countries to raise their ambition to combat climate change. The goal unveiled at the start of a two-day climate summit hosted by Democratic President Joe Biden comes as the United States seeks to reclaim a global leadership in the fight against global warming after former President Donald Trump withdrew the country from international efforts to cut emissions. It also marks an important milestone in Biden's broader plan to decarbonize the U.S. economy entirely by 2050, an agenda, he says, can create millions of good-paying jobs, but which many Republicans say they fear will damage the economy. The emissions cuts are expected to come from power plants, automobiles and other sectors across the country, but the White House did not set individual targets for those industries. Meanwhile, the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres said that the world is at the verge of the abyss because of climate change and must take aggressive steps to avoid catastrophe. The Israeli military said a Syrian anti-aircraft missiles landed in southern Israel early today, setting off air raid sirens near the country's top secret nuclear reactor. In response, it said it attacked the missile's launcher and air defense systems in neighboring Syria. The Israeli military described the projectile that landed near the nuclear site as a surface-to-air missiles, which is usually used for air defense against warplanes or other missiles. That could suggest the Syrian missiles had targeted Israeli warplanes but missed and flew off errantly. However, Dimona, the Negev desert town where Israel's nuclear reactor is located, is some 300 kilometers south of Damascus. The European negotiating countries said that there has been progress at Vienna-based talks between world powers aimed at salvaging the 2015 deal on Iran's nuclear program, but any escalatory moves would jeopardize the opportunity. Former U.S. President Donald Trump walked out of the deal in 2018, but the talks in Austria capital, which is indirectly involved the U.S., are seen as the best chance yet of reviving the accord, with President Joe Biden keen to re-engage if Tehran returns to compliance. A diplomat from the E3 powers of Britain, France and Germany said they have made some progress, but there is still a way to go. The talks in Vienna got underway at the start of the month and should resume next week after a pause that allows diplomats to confer with their capitals. A report by the United Nations atomic watchdog yesterday showed Iran has installed extra advanced centrifuges at its underground uranium enrichment plant, Natanz, that was hit by a blast last week, deepening Iran's breach of its nuclear deal with major powers. The explosion and a power outage damaged an unknown number of centrifuges, and Iranian state television has shown footage of machines that it says were replaced there. Iran has blamed Israel for the explosion. According to a previous report, the IAEA verified on March 31st that Iran was using 696 IR-2M machines and 174 IR-4 machines at the fuel enrichment plant FEP in Natanz. Airlines face another break here with steeper losses that previously forecast as some regions struggle to speed up COVID-19 vaccination campaigns and control virus variants. According to the International Air Transport Association, the industry is expected to register net post-tax losses of $47.7 billion in 2021, greater than $38 billion forecast in December. Airlines lost more than $126 billion last year as the COVID-19 crisis prompted countries to lock down cities, close borders and ban international flights. The IATA expects more people to fly in 2021 with 2.4 billion passengers compared to 1.8 billion in 2020. North American Airlines will fare better than previously thought with losses of $5 billion instead of $11 billion thanks to the recovery of the domestic market there. European airlines are now tipped to lose $22 billion compared to $12 billion in the earlier forecast. A large grey whale has been spotted over the weekend by a group of divers in a bay of Naples, southern Italy. The animal, not usually seen in the Mediterranean, was seen Sunday and seemed lost initially. But after playing with the bow of the boat, the whale resumed its course towards the open sea. A similar whale, perhaps the same one, was spotted off the island of Ponza, about halfway between Rome and Naples, on April 15th. According to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA grey whales swim in the North Pacific Ocean and migrate down the Pacific coast to southern California and the coast of Mexico. It is not clear how the whale got to the Mediterranean, but according to the NOAA, grey whales can swim long distances in deep water during migration. All the best for that white whale, of course. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq issues a royal decree on the Public Authority for Civil Defense and Ambulance. The Minister of Health today announces 16 deaths and 1,508 new COVID-19 cases in the Sultanate. And the Sultanate joins the world in celebrating the Earth Day. And with that, we do conclude this news bulletin brought to you live from this news center of the Sultanate of Oman television. Once again, stay alert and follow all precautionary measures. Oman needs you, and let's stay all of us safe and healthy. Good night.